Okay, and in today's video we're gonna take a look at Carnival, one of the largest parties on earth, and take a look at different countries that celebrate it and how they celebrate it. Now, we've compiled a list of our top 10 destinations to experience Carnival, but please note these were not listed in any specific order, these are just our top 10 destinations. Okay, and first up on the list we have Nice Carnival in France. A Nice Carnival is held in the capital of Côte d'Azur, and it's awash with colors in February, and it's as noisy as a carnival can be, with women and men wearing outrageous costumes and headgear. There is usually a procession with about 17 floats that work their way up to a crescendo of gigantic celebrations on the Place Messina. Visitors are usually encouraged to open their minds to various perspectives of their imagination. Giant colorful parades take place day and night, with entertainment provided by over 1,000 musicians and dancers from across the world. Okay, and at number 2 we have Tenerife Carnival in Spain. And this carnival attracts hundreds of thousands of people every year to the capital of Tenerife. It's considered the world's second largest carnival after Rio de Janeiro, and you have crowded street parties filling the squares and streets of the city, to the giant put together parades, which are all free to visitors. Now bear in mind that anything goes, and so do all inhibitions as the Latino vibe heats up. Every day there is a series of masked balls and events, and during the procession you get to see the elected carnival queens and their entourage as they ride on elaborately decorated parade floats, and costumes so heavy and huge they need to be lifted onto the floats. And at number 3 we have Carnival in Jamaica. And Jamaicans love to party. So much that their famous carnival lasts for almost 8 weeks. That's about 56 days of high energy events and vibrant street parades known as Juve, featuring dancers and performers in bejeweled and daring outfits. Carnival events happen all over the island, including Kingston and Montego Bay, so expect plenty of soca and reggae and Caribbean music, as well as exhilarating performances from professional musicians and dancers from the country and abroad. And next up we have Notting Hill Carnival in the UK. And unlike most carnivals which are held in February or March, this one is actually held at the end of summer in the West London neighbourhood. And it is said to be Europe's biggest street party, with an attendance of almost 2 million people every year. This carnival was initially created in the 60s to celebrate and represent London's multicultural population. So for an entire weekend, the Caribbean is transported to London, as this carnival is modeled after Trinidad and Tobago's carnival. And it features colorful street parades and parties, stunning colorful teens and costumes, sound systems playing calypso, soca, reggae, and dancehall. So be sure to check this one out if you're ever in Europe and you want to experience carnival. Okay, and next up we have Carnival in Switzerland. And Carnival in Switzerland is known as Fastnacht, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and it's celebrated all over the country. It's the largest and most popular celebration that occurs in the city, and it's been recognized by UNESCO as being a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. This carnival lasts exactly 72 hours in what the locals call the 3 best days of the year. It'll transport you to another world. It features many traditions and costumes that are centuries old, and you'll hear traditional music. See 20,000 traditional folkloric masked costumers parading around the town, and there's also a beautiful lantern festival that lights up the city streets. Okay, and next up we have Barranquilla Carnival in Colombia. And not too many people have heard of this carnival before, but it is in fact Colombia's most important carnival celebration. It's also one of the largest in the world because it's attended by millions of people. It's held for 4 days prior to Ash Wednesday, and it's considered a must-see event. It features amazing costume parades, street parties, and a mix of Caribbean and Latin music. Okay, and the next one we have on the list is actually not known by Carnival, but it's actually one of the most popular in the world, and this is Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is held in New Orleans, and is Latin for Shrove Tuesday or Fat Tuesday as some may call it, and it's the day before Lent. Mardi Gras celebration dates back to when Louisiana was a French colony, and New Orleans Mardi Gras features numerous parades, costume revelers, and lots of merrymaking. It's known for the float riders throwing gifts to the crowds, colorful plastic beads which you'll see everyone wear around their neck, and it's more than one day of celebrating, as in fact a whole carnival season that begins on the 6th of January and continues to get bigger and bigger, culminating in big parades and parties on Mardi Gras Day. Okay, next up we have Caribana, which is in Toronto, Canada. And it's the largest Caribbean festival in North America and sees up to 2 million visitors every year. The celebration of Caribbean culture began back in the 60s as a way to highlight West Indian culture in Canada and fund the West Indian Cultural Center. The summer festivities feature film stage acts, ferry cruises and soca, steel drums and calypso music. Now this here is another carnival that's held in the summer, not in February or March, most likely because of the weather and temperature. But the finale is a huge carnival style parade. Okay, and the next one we have on the list is Rio Carnival in Brazil, and this is probably the most popular carnival on this list, and millions of people visit Brazil every year just to experience this. Now the main stadium where the carnival is held is called the Sambadromo, and it has only 90,000 seats, but many people still go even though they don't get tickets which start at $60 just to be in that stadium and witness it. They go simply to be on the streets and be on the parties that happen on the streets outside of the stadium. The street parties are free for everyone and there are plenty of floats, music, dancing, and the main one takes place outside the stadium. So you can also head for the largest organized street dance on Cinlandia Square in Rio's Centro. It continues for 5 days straight with music by talented and even famous orchestras, bands, and popular singers who play samba music. Okay, and finally on our list we have Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. And this carnival is world famous for its sheer scale and exuberance. It's not just a festival and not just a celebration, it's a pure spectacle showing off the island's music, culture, and history. It is the biggest event in the island's calendar and one of the largest carnivals in the Caribbean. And it's said that when islanders aren't celebrating Carnival, they're busy preparing for it. Now the Carnival season starts at the beginning of the year and continues on until it's time for Carnival, with various parties and events happening before the actual Carnival takes place. But the Carnival itself lasts for 2 days. But then in the morning you have Juve and then the actual Carnival celebration. And you get to experience all different kind of Caribbean music such as calypso, reggae, soca, and dancehall, and even music from the steel drums and the steel pans, an instrument which is actually invented in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, and these are our top 10 carnival destinations to experience Carnival, and if your country celebrates Carnival and it wasn't included in this list, feel free to comment below. But thank you for watching, and remember to hit the subscribe button below to see more videos like these. Thank you.